B1 killer whale, hunters of the ice. This is a killer whale, and there are 10 ecotypes that are both genetic and phenotypically different from each other. Each of these groups have developed behaviors to adapt to their specific environment. As seen on a phylogenetic tree, all of these whales originated from one common ancestor. On this chart, showing the 10 different ecotypes separated males and females, we can see the variety. This is a B1 killer whale, the second largest orca species, adult size being around 30 feet. Living in the southern hemisphere, these whales primarily live in Antarctica, specifically focusing on the peninsula for the observed behavior of wave washing. B1 killer whales vary to their counterparts. As you may have noticed, the whales have a yellowish hue. This is due to the presence of diatoms. These single-celled organisms do not harm the whales in any way. Frequently, the whales will migrate north for warmer waters to shed these organisms. They do this to clean and regenerate their skin, as living in colder temperatures reduces blood flow, limiting the amount they can shed. These whales may have uncommon migration habits, which are not seen in many orcas, but they share many of the same traits, like having a matriarch and behaviors being learned from a young age. Teaching calves the family dynamic is vital to the survival of the pod and the species as a whole. For behaviors to be carried out successfully, whales need to work together, communicating with each other via a series of clicks and sharing physical strength. The clicks are specific to the pod. This helps whales find each other via long distances and also helps identify their own pod via strangers, which might also be present in the water. These whales are also known as pack ice orcas, as they live in waters where large amounts of pack ice are present. Other organisms may see these as roadblocks, but it's exactly what these whales need. The ice floats are prime resting places for seals, but it also leaves them exposed. 1 to 3 individuals will leave the pod to go scout the area. The first step is spy hopping, where the whales will rise above the surface vertically and controlled to get a better view of their surroundings, or in this case, scouting for prey. They have to do this in a controlled manner to not disturb the seal. When potential prey is spotted, the scouting orcas go back to their pod and report to prepare for the next steps. This behavior can be repeated multiple times till the whales decide when the time is right to go forward. When the whales find their target, one whale will dive down directly under the ice. Using their fluke and bubbles from their blowhole, they'll create subsurface waves that will form opposing pressure on the ice float to break it up and move it into a more open space. Once desired ice float is in position, the whales will get into formation and charge barely under the surface, pumping their flukes in unison along with bubbles from their blowholes to create a wave with enough force to move the seal off the ice. As seen in the figure A through D, it shows the process step by step of how these whales perform this behavior. Sometimes the behavior needs to be repeated, as the seal won't fall off the first try. Or it will get to the point where the seal is too tired to move and the orcas will need to grab the seal off the edge of the ice. As orcas live in pods, meals are shared among each other. Unlike other organisms, there is no rank or hierarchy other than the maternal grandmother being the leader of the pod. With this, they will proceed to dismember and share among the family unit equally. This behavior is one that is vital to their way of life in their environment, as it is a means of survival, classifying it as an ultimate question of how would changes in their immediate environment affect their rate of survival. In Antarctica, other orca ecotypes live in the area, including B2, Type D, Type C, and Type A, which all have different ways of acquiring food and diets. B2 killer whales live in the same exact area as B1s, but primarily target penguins, so these whales live without any competition for food sources. Warming temperatures have decreased the ice cover in these areas, which may impact these orcas as the wave washing technique is a staple in how they acquire food. This is a learned behavior, so it is possible that these whales over time will adapt new techniques as the environment changes or have a more varied diet, potentially increasing the number of other mammals they target. Killer whales are known to be active learners and curious about changes in their environment. They are considered an apex predator in the waters which they call home, and studying them can help get a better picture of the surrounding environment and how apex predators adapt to changes in their immediate environment.